the news seems easy, but we put thought into what we're doing. The Bahamas Tonight Access Now, here to inform, educate, and entertain. A new type of newscast featuring social media trends, news from around the islands, interviews with the people you like in our communities, sports, weather, and fabulous entertainment. That's a Bahamas Tonight Access Now with Marlena Leonard and LaDon Davis. 7:30, Monday to Friday. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
The Hidden Disabilities Sunflower is a globally recognized symbol for persons with invisible disabilities.
The sunflower lanyard made our journey less stressful, smoother, and more inclusive.
REACH is proud to support the Hidden Sunflower Scheme, which makes the invisible visible. So far, the Nassau Airport Authority and the Nassau Cruise Port are sunflower certified.
So if you see someone with a sunflower lanyard, always remember to be patient and ask if they need some help. Please be kind and always remember to show respect.
We wish to encourage more hotel operators with amenities such as water parks, restaurants, cinemas, government offices to join this initiative, making the Bahamas a more sunflower-friendly country.
Please feel free to reach out to the REACH office at 328-4123, or you can reach out to the National Commissions for Persons with Disabilities at 396-8700.
That's going to do it for us here in the North. I'm Jolanda Thompson-Alvarez.
And I'm Jay Philippe.
Thanks so much for tuning in. Here's a live look at the Bahamas tonight, coming your way next.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
First at 11. Another bushfire challenging responders over in North Abaco near Cedar Harbor. The smoke making visibility difficult for motorists who are being warned to exercise caution. Also, the nation's leader advising that now is not the time for complacency, notwithstanding the Trump administration reversing a policy that would have likely doubled shipping costs in the region, leading to economic fears. And redistributing the Bahamas' import reliance being explored by the Bahamas Trade Commission amid geopolitical tensions. For that, officials look to Africa for alternative solutions. The Bahamas Tonight at 11 starts now. Good evening, everyone. I'm Royson Jones, and this is the Bahamas Tonight at 11. Welcome to the broadcast. We begin tonight with this news story at 11. A large bushfire is moving west about 400 yards in the bushes outside of Cedar Harbor, North Abaco. North Abaco Administrator Stephen Wilson informing our news team that smoldering smoke is on the highway in that area, making visibility difficult for motorists. Motorists in Abaco are urged to exercise extreme caution while traveling in this area. Volunteer firefighters and Abaco police are monitoring the situation carefully. This is a story we will continue to follow. Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis breathing a little easier along with the nation after the United States reversed its decision to hike tariffs on Chinese-made shipping vessels. The move would have significantly impacted the region, with shipping costs projected to double as a result of the move. This reversal in policy, many experts say, have saved the Bahamas from economic catastrophe. When reporters asked the Prime Minister about the issue today, he cautioned this is no time for being complacent.
There has been some disruption in world trade, and that will no doubt have a cost associated with it. So we have to continue to monitor it. As a government, we've been keeping ahead of these developments because even before now, and before what I call the tariff hike came about, we were taking steps to diversify our trade routes and our trade partners.
Meanwhile, the country's record on international trade labor is again under the microscope after alleged leaked documents from a U.S.-based human rights group found that Cuban medical professionals are involved in the medical mission program and were compensated as little as 8 to 16% of what the Bahamian government paid for their services. It is said a portion of the money paid goes to a third-party Cuban agency. However, the U.S. has long speculated the alleged practice is being facilitated by the Cuban government, accusing them of labor and other human rights abuses. The situation came to a head last month with the U.S. threatening visa sanctions against officials from countries that knowingly partake in the exercise, calling them complicit in labor and human rights violations. The Davis administration has denied violating those laws, but has promised to review aspects of the program. Today, speaking on this latest report, Prime Minister Davis maintained that stance.
I understand that the Cuban doctors are paid some funds here, and some funds are paid to an agency to ensure that the family members of the doctors here are taken care of whilst they're here. Now, that we are renegotiating, because we cannot. Well, I don't want to say whether we're satisfied or not, but we want to work that in the sense where the doctors themselves decide what they will send back home. At the end of the day, right, we accept the principle that the doctors should be paid directly. Any worker, just as any other worker here, should be paid directly, and what they do with their funds after that is up to them.
Meantime, opposition leader Michael Pintard supports the Cuban medical mission program, which has been touted by stakeholders as being crucial to the country's healthcare sector. But that did not stop him from issuing this warning.
The government has to be concerned about some of the rhetoric that it engages in. We ought to work with our partners in the region, not just in the Caribbean, but also with the U.S., and we do so taking into consideration our interests first and foremost. But if a matter is raised that we ought to look at more closely, we should simply take a look at it and make the adjustments that we want to make.
Another commitment on the Davis administration's agenda is being fulfilled as the government today signed another purchase power agreement hoped to lighten the load on energy bills while encouraging further growth in the renewable energy sector. Our Lloyd Allen reports from the Office of the Prime Minister with more on the recent signing, which, if all goes well, could reduce energy costs by as much as 15% by 2035.
According to Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis, his government has taken note and is attempting to ease those high power bill concerns which were clear at the time the present government took office.
Monthly electricity bills were too high and blackouts too frequent. Everyone agreed. But the real dangers were fiscal and infrastructural.
Energy Minister the Honorable Jobeth Colby Davis says a new day is approaching, one inclusive of a brand new transmission and generation station producing more than 20 megawatts of power, along with a battery unit.
The PPA we are signing emanated from the request for proposals for New Providence microgrids and the new energy generation via renewables with energy storage systems that was launched by the government of the Bahamas.
The partnership comes by way of dialogue between Bahamas Power and Light, CVB Utility Limited, the Attorney General's Office, and the Ministry of Environment and Natural Resources. Minister Colby Davis indicates the new power farm will be adjacent to the C.V. Bethel High School, generating 20 megawatts of power along with 5 megawatt hours of battery energy storage capacity.
The battery enables the storage of electricity energy generated at one time to be used at a later time.
Anthony Christie, BPL Chief Operations Officer, also shared the significance of the future enhancement.
This project combines significant solar generation with cutting-edge storage technology, strengthening the grid and securing cleaner energy for the future.
CVB Director Justin Cunningham is confident the new system will be a game changer for power generation.
This grid-tied system will export 20 megawatts of power, leveraging cutting-edge photovoltaic storage and technology to stabilize, optimize, and strengthen the national grid. The project represents a major step forward toward energy independence and reduced reliance on imported fossil fuels.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen.
Thanks, Lloyd. Just one day after making an appearance on Easter Sunday, Pope Francis, head of the Roman Catholic Church, died on Monday morning. International reports say his death was due to a stroke and irreversible cardiocirculatory collapse. Tonight, millions around the world remember him with fondness, including world leaders. Here in the Bahamas, a book of condolence was opened at the Catholic Cathedral, where the Prime Minister was among the first to sign. Corval Pyfram has the details.
Prime Minister Philip Davis arrived with Foreign Affairs Minister Fred Mitchell at St. Francis Xavier Catholic Cathedral Tuesday. There, they were met by Deputy Prime Minister Jessica Cooper, as well as Supreme Court Chief Justice Ian Winder. After signing the Book of Condolences, Mr. Davis recalled fondly meeting Pope Francis nearly 2 years ago. He remembers him as a man of the people and an ally in the fight against climate change.
That meeting, I can say I met a humble person, a man who had time for people, who expressed his concern not just for people, but for the planet on which we live. At that point, he and I met because he had just issued his laudatum on climate change and its impact on the world, reminding us as humankind that the world was entrusted to us to manage with care, and that care seemed to have been missing. And at the same time, he was recognizing that something had to be done.
Opposition leader Michael Pintard sharing similar sentiments, calling Pope Francis's passing a loss for Catholics and for the world.
He was a fierce advocate for small island states. And in the Catholic community, he was well known for his activism around marginalized communities. And so we saw him as someone who expressed values that we believe have made a difference globally, and values that should inform.
Housing and Urban Renewal Minister Keith Bell is a practicing Roman Catholic. This loss for him is deep and personal.
For me, for him, I'll always remember his famous words, which remains, "One who has mercy does not fear death." And those words resonate with me at his passing.
The Book of Condolences is open for signing until Friday. A memorial service for the late Pope will take place at St. Francis Xavier Cathedral later this week. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Corval Pyfram.
Still to come, a teen beauty pageant set for this weekend. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight at 11. More news in just a moment.
Imagine a world where every brand knows your name and every store awaits your arrival. Elite shopping, travel where luxury is a lifestyle and every journey feels like home. Dine where every flavor is just for you, every table reserved, and every moment a taste of perfection. Make every big moment even bigger. Experience banking where wealth isn't just managed, it's maximized. Step into a world without limits. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
The internet isn't just for surfing. There's a sea of shoppers buying online, and you can connect with them on Tingsy. Tingsy is the SBDC's online storefront built for Bahamians. Take your business to the next level by selling to customers online, both at home and around the world. People want Bahamian things, and if you got things to sell, sell on Tingsy. Find out how you can connect with a sea of buyers by visiting tingsybahamas.com.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, where safety is first.
80% of our country's imports come from the United States and 10% from other countries. But new geopolitical tensions have created uncertainty about our ability to source goods we need for survival. That is why the Bahamas Trade Commission is seeking new avenues, and today its chairman is in Ghana, Africa, doing just that. Our Felicity Darville is there.
It was a royal welcome home for Senator Barry Griffin and MP Kingsley Smith. Home because many Bahamians descend from the people of Ghana and the west coast of Africa. The Afro-Caribbean Global Business Trade Show is historic. Led by Bahamians, policymakers and business owners are pioneering new avenues of trade for our country. Senator Griffin said the Bahamas Trade Commission launched the National Trade Diversification Strategy 2 years ago for this very purpose.
We recognize that by relying on a narrow set of imports and exports makes us vulnerable to global uncertainty. In this era of shifting trade blocks and geopolitical instability, the need to diversify has become not just strategic, but now urgent. This is why we are turning to Africa. African nations can be a stable and affordable source of fresh produce, building supplies, raw materials, value-added products, and so much more for the Caribbean. In return, the Caribbean can be a vibrant, loyal, and lucrative market for African goods and businesses.
He explained why trade between both countries is beneficial.
This is only the beginning. The Bahamas sees much to do with Africa and with Ghana in particular. We are now on the ground floor of a new era, and from this level, we can build something extraordinary. African businesses looking to go global will find in the Bahamas a stable and respected democracy, a robust capital market, access to international banking and finance systems, and an English-speaking investor-friendly jurisdiction in the heart of the Americas.
In a world where the temperature of trade is changing and tariffs are rising, the need to source affordable quality goods from new markets has become even more critical. From Accra, Ghana, for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Felicity Darville.
Thank you, Felicity. Some of the nation's brightest young stars will hit the stage at the Atlantis Theater on Paradise Island this weekend as the 2025 Miss Teen Universe Bahamas pageant gets underway after months of preparation, not devoid of its challenges. Devante Hanna tells us more tonight.
It's a very bittersweet moment because I know sooner or later one of us will be crowned and the experience would be over. We wouldn't see each other every Wednesday and Sundays anymore.
We really got to know each other more on a personal level, and all in all, it was just an enjoyable time.
With 9 contestants, the event kicks off Friday night with the preliminary competition, which will showcase their talents, walks, and interview skills in hopes of impressing the judges and securing a spot in the final round. Some of the contestants seeking redemption.
Last year, I think I accepted defeat before we even went into preliminaries and finale. This year, I am just striving to put my best foot forward. I'm staying determined. I'm staying diligent.
But before they got to the closing night, the teens had some fun, even a trip to Abaco.
I was teen.
And of course, there was some drama along the way.
Some people weren't able to really be their self, and that's why they were more closed off, and everyone's personalities probably clashed. That's just my opinion.
It all culminates on Saturday night at the grand finale, where one exceptional teen will be crowned Miss Teen Universe Bahamas 2025. She'll go on to represent the Bahamas at the international pageant this year. Who will it be?
I'm going to walk across that stage, and I'm going to own it.
Best of luck to all the participants this weekend. Happy Earth Day, and today we're celebrating more than just a date on the calendar. We're celebrating the power of knowledge, action, and a greener future for our islands and our future. Our West Calix Forbes has this story.
The Department of Environmental Planning and Protection is on the move today, making Earth Day not just a date, but a real-life lesson. Right now, officials are at C.C. Sweeting Senior High School, where they're meeting with the school's Environmental Science Club.
This year's Earth Day theme is Our Power, Our Planet, and the message is clear. It's time to fight back against pollution and protect what we love the most, our beautiful Bahama land. Earth Day is an annual event celebrated on April 22nd to raise awareness and support for environmental protection.
We are a country, we depend on our earth. We get tourism dollars from the lusciousness of our environment, our sun, our sand, our sea, and most of us spend our days every day working in the environment, whether you're in a hotel or whether you're like myself working to protect the environment. Much of what we do every day is based on and focused around the environment.
Dr. Neely shared some eye-opening truth. Only 15 environmental specialists are responsible for the monitoring and protecting the entire Bahamas. Yes, you heard that right. Just 15 people for 700 island rocks and keys. That's why Earth Day here isn't just symbolic. It's essential.
We're going to talk with these students about what is it that they need to become one of us. Environmental officers that work in the government, what we need to do to conserve and protect our environment. And really want to hear from them to see what their interests are and how we could help them become better eco-citizens and earth citizens.
She also emphasized something powerful. There's a place in the environmental world for Bahamian students. We need you, she told them. The Bahamas needs you.
And so we're starting younger. I'm so happy to be with this group of students behind me who I'm looking at them as my replacement, as the officers to replace the current officers in the department. And so I think the message is taken up. We have heard back from quite a bit of students or schools that were closed but would like us to come at later dates. And so I think that it's spreading far and wide, and we're here to continue to spread it even further.
Today was a perfect reminder that Earth Day isn't just global, it's local. And here in the Bahamas, our environment isn't just where we live, it's who we are. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Wes Calix Forbes.
Important work and an important cause. Thank you, Wes. Eugene Stewart has a look at what's coming up in sports tonight. Eugene?
Stellar performances in track and field action. Details of that story coming up in sports.
Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, we have been in Exoma now for the past 4 years, carrying out our paving program. A part of our company's philosophy is producing work to international standards. So when you look at our paving division, we have a state-of-the-art lab to do all of our testing in-house, as well as a state-of-the-art asphalt plant with a trained technician carrying out the work on that site. The overarching goal of our company is to produce the work that we're doing in the entire Bahamas to international standards. We also make a difference by the training of our staff. We have a very intensive training program going on to where we are teaching young men how to learn the art of striping. Being a young man myself, I've made mistakes in the past. I was given a second chance to better my life, and it's only fitting that we pass it along. What's important for us is giving them a second chance for them to get a skill and a career that could take them further in life.
Welcome to your late night sports check, everyone. I'm Eugene Stewart. Well, Team Bahamas' historic track team making their presence known down in Trinidad and Tobago. Our Al Knows was trackside and files this report.
This 2025 Carifta update from Trinidad and Tobago brought to you by KFC Nassau, J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, Comfort Suites Paradise Island, Original Patties, Water and Sewerage, and the Dalbinas Agency.
It was certainly a night filled with fireworks, the final night of competition at the Hasty Crawford Stadium here in Port of Spain at Trinidad and Tobago for the 2025 Carifta Track and Field Championships. Team Bahamas adding a cadre of medals to its haul to close things out and breaking a Carifta record in the process. Starting up first, some field event medals. Ane Mackey would take gold in the girls under 20 discus. Also taking gold would be Kenny Moxie in the boys open pole vault. Now to the track, Jasmine Thompson. She would pick up a bronze in the girls under 17 100-meter hurdles. And for the star, one of the stars for the Bahamas this weekend, Egan Neely, he would add another medal to his tally as he would take gold in the boys 200 meters. Also picking up another medal would be Jacario Wilson, taking gold in 13:70 in the boys under 17 110 hurdles. And of course, capping things off in the relay, Team Bahamas under 17 4x4 boys. They would take gold and set a new Carifta record in the process. The time 3 minutes 12.72 seconds. The aforementioned Jacario Wilson, Egan Neely, Cheray Woodside, and Jonathan Higgs of the girls under 17 and under 20 teams. They would pick up some medals as well, a silver and a bronze, before the night was capped off with the Bahamas' under 20 boys 4x4 team taking gold in 3 minutes, 6.16 seconds. Now, as far as the final medal tally, Team Bahamas finishing with a total of 37 medals, 16 gold, 13 silver, and 8 bronze. Now, for full sights and sounds from the final day, you can get more in Wednesday's Sportscast. As for now, for my cameraman Ashley Taylor and Mama Jal Knowles, signing out from Trinidad and Tobago for ZNS Total Sports.
Bahamas Aquatics also making waves down in Trinidad and Tobago. Let's dive over to our Shane Stubbs, who tells us more.
Sensing a 7th straight title is within their grasp, Team Bahamas took no prisoners on night 3, widening the gap in the standings. Headed into the final night of competition, Team Bahamas led all countries with 739 points, followed by Jamaica with 566.5 points, and Trinidad and Tobago in third with 532 points. Team Bahamas now holds 21 gold, 16 silver, and 18 bronze medals for a total of 55 through 3 days of competition. Highlighting the night was Isabella Monroe picking up her first gold medal of the competition, and it was a heartwarming moment for her dad as head coach Trevano McPhee looked on.
I'm happy that I made my family proud, and I'm happy that I got the time I wanted to get.
Isabella, she really made me proud. Like I said, it's not over yet. She has a big day tomorrow with 100 breast. Hopefully she can dominate that and bring home the gold as well.
In that same light, assistant coach Andy Murray witnessed his son, Alexander Murray, secure gold in the 13-14 boys breaststroke.
It was amazing because after every curve for the swim practice, I did a 50 off the blocks for the time I knew. And I'd also like to congratulate my teammate David Singh because me and him fought so hard at the end to try and get that gold.
Just really proud of him. He's been racing really hard and it paid off. He got a gold today, and all that hard work he's been putting in the last few months. Just really proud of him.
Other gold retrievers on the night included Kamea Saunders in the 13-14 girls 50-meter breaststroke, Christian Hepburn in the 15-17 boys final, Dexter Russell in the 11-12 boys 50-meter breaststroke final, and David Ching in the 13-14 boys 200-meter individual medley.
I definitely worked hard for this, and my coach also helped me a lot to get to this level. So I really want to thank my coach, Coach Ivo, for helping me get here.
This is a race I always trained towards, always looking forward to racing everybody against it. The beginning of the race, I'm not going to lie, I noticed that Ayrton was in the front of me, so I just was like, I got to get in front of him, and I just came out with the gold.
Team Bahamas closed out the night as the top teams in the 11-12 mixed 4x100-meter relay and the 13-14 girls 800-meter freestyle relay.
Final day is, improve on the lead, dominate the breaststroke is our strength, and then try to pick up some points then the 53 and the 400 free. But I think we're comfortable where we're at. We're gonna definitely look at the points before we leave here tonight. Go over the strategy for tomorrow, and I'm sure the swimmers will execute.
Well, after a very, very strong showing on night 3, it's looking like that 7 feet is becoming more and more of a reality for Team Bahamas. For ZNS Total Sports, I'm Shane Stubbs.
This 2025 Carifta update from Trinidad and Tobago was brought to you by KFC Nassau, J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, Comfort Suites Paradise Island, Original Patties, Water and Sewerage, and the Dalbinas Agency.
In basketball news, Big 12 Conference Freshman of the Year Valdez VJ Edgecombe over the weekend declaring for the 2025 NBA Draft. Edgecombe, the 6'5" wing player making the announcement surrounded by family and close loved ones, speaks on his upbringing on the island of Bimini.
Just foremost, God is great. That's the main thing for me. God is great. And, without him, I wouldn't be here today, without my peoples, without everyone that's been beside me every step of the way, had faith in me throughout the whole time. So that's the main thing for me. So, yeah, this is where it all started. You have to be tough to play out there. They ain't give you nothing. So, it's hard for that there every day. Like you said, I've been playing against older guys almost all my life. From I was 11, 12, crying to play, like you say. Just a passion, to show that I have love for the game, and that was the main thing, Like I said, I'm blessed, though. I'm blessed to be able to be this tall, have natural athleticism that most people don't have. And then that's just show my aggression towards the rim, towards the basket, just towards the game. You can't approach the game, just all happy and stuff. You gotta have some motivation behind it for real. So you know, it's life. This is life for me, so yeah.
And that's been your Tuesday Sports Check, everyone. I'm Eugene Stewart. Stay tuned. We've got weather when we return.
Here at Immigration Care Service, you can trust us, especially if you have experienced issues or problems with the U.S. immigration at the borders. We'll do our best to provide options and solutions to immigration roadblocks so travelers can continue visiting the U.S. and residents can continue living their lives in the U.S. without worries. The best part? Our services are affordable and accessible. Take the mystery, confusion, and fear out of your immigration concerns. Contact Immigration Care Service today.
You've got termites and need to get rid of them fast? Trust Rentokil Initial. With over 60 years experience in the Bahamas, the global brand, training, and expertise can't be beat. Only Rentokil Initial gives you a 3-year warranty and payment plan options on termite fumigation. No one can match the range of treatments we offer, such as fumigation, pre-construction treatments, termite monitoring, and more. No matter where you are in the Bahamas, we will come to you. When it comes to complete termite eradication, there's only one name, Rentokil Initial.
It's time now for a weather check with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Royston. The winds have picked up and will be with us right through Saturday, but come Sunday, we promise you there will be a reduction in both the winds and seas, particularly in the northwestern parts of the country. Now, your temperatures around the outlets this evening, 73 degrees in Marshall, Abaco, Greenville, Key, and Freeport at 74. The Berry Islands, 76 degrees, Allenstown, Bimini, 80 degrees. We're picking up 77 in Fresh Creek, Central Andros, Harbor Island, 75, Roxanne, Eleuthera, and Ottersonket Island at 74. Black Point, Exuma, Kemp Space, Andros reporting 76 degrees. It gets 75 in Georgetown, Exuma. Rum Key and San Salvador, 74 degrees, and we 75 showing up in Crooked Island, Clarence Sound, Long Island, and also in Ragged Island. Acklands and Betsy Bay, Maguana at 74 degrees, Matthew Town and Agua 78, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 76 degrees. And your satellite picture, well, it's showing that high pressure remains in control, but we have some high-level clouds beginning to advance over the northwestern parts of the country, and that will give rise to some increase in cloudiness over the extreme northwestern Bahamas. Tonight, we're looking at partly cloudy, still breezy, with your low temperature around 69 degrees, which is quite comfortable. And then tomorrow, mostly sunny, breezy again, and on the pleasant side with a high temperature reaching 80 degrees. And your extended weather forecast, lots of sunshine right through the weekend. But come Sunday, the winds will start to decrease, and that will render some pretty much good boating conditions for you who have been missing it for the past several weeks. And as we head into early part of next week, we'll see some showers work their way into the forecast on Tuesday. Temperatures also rebounding into the mid to upper 80s. But before I leave, I wish to extend a very happy birthday to Sybil Archer. Yes, she celebrated her 104th birthday today, and she's in good health, both mentally and physically. To God be the glory for 104 years, Sybil. Right, Sid?
Happy birthday, Mrs. Archer. Well, that's going to do it for the Bahamas tonight at 11. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. Thank you for watching, and good night.
At Tonic Williams Darden Highway, I'm Tajaro Hudson. This is ZNS.